"You've always been a burden, Mark," Dad barked, his voice sharp enough to cut through the chatter in the room. Everyone turned to look at me. I had just flown in that morning, carrying the cake I'd picked out myself, and spent hours fixing the broken fence out back. I felt the heat rising in my face. I wasn't some lazy kid they could mock. "After everything I did today?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Mom shifted uncomfortably in her chair. Philip, my older brother, smirked like he was enjoying the show. Emma, my sister, avoided eye contact. Dad's eyes narrowed, and his voice got louder. "Yeah, burden. You never step up like Philip does. You never have." Philip raised his glass, grinning. "That's right. I pay for everything around here. You just show up when it's convenient." I slammed my hand on the table. "Then let Philip pay for everything. All the bills, the house repairs, the groceries. If I'm such a burden, maybe he should handle it all." The room went silent. Mom's jaw tightened. Dad looked like I'd slapped him. Philip's smile disappeared, replaced with a dark look. Emma finally spoke, voice low and shaky. "Mark, this isn't the time or place." "No," I said, standing up. "It's exactly the time and place. I'm done pretending." I grabbed my jacket and walked out before anyone could say another word. The cold air outside hit my face, but I felt lighter. This family didn't see me for who I was. Maybe it was time they felt the weight of what I was about to do. "My name's Mark. I'm 32 years old. 4 years, I've been the family fixer, the one who quietly handled problems no one else wanted to face. When the fence broke, I spent my Saturday morning fixing it, paying for the materials myself because no one else seemed to care. I flew in from across the country just to be here for Dad's birthday. But no one sees that. Instead, they call me a burden. Philip, my older brother, is the golden child. He always gets what he wants. The truth is, Philip's been living beyond his means for years, racking up gambling debts and hiding luxuries behind fake business expenses. But everyone just turns a blind eye because it's easier to pretend. Mom and Dad, they choose to believe his lies, protect him like he's untouchable. Emma, my sister, follows their lead, always afraid to speak up. And me? I'm the scapegoat, the one who's never enough. But I'm done being invisible. I've spent months gathering evidence, tracking the money Philip's been hiding, learning how the family's finances really work. I know exactly where to strike. This isn't just about the fence or a birthday party anymore. It's about taking back what's mine, respect, honesty, and maybe even justice. I'm ready for the fight. The next morning, I sat at my kitchen table, staring at the bank app on my phone. The numbers were clear. Over the years, Philip had quietly siphoned thousands of dollars from family accounts for his own use. Gambling debts, expensive dinners, a flashy new car. None of it showed up in the family budget meetings because they didn't want to know. I took a deep breath and froze the accounts. Canceled the credit cards Philip used without permission. Turned off automatic payments for things he wasn't supposed to be charging. Every move was surgical, no noise, no drama, yet the impact would hit hard. The first call came from Mom. "Mark, the mortgage payment didn't go through." Her voice was tight, controlled, but I could hear the tremble beneath. "Did you do something?" I kept my tone steady. "I stopped the payments temporarily. Philip has been using the money for personal stuff. I'm trying to fix this." There was a long silence. Then, almost inaudible, "This can't be happening." That day, I went to the hardware store to get supplies for a project I'd promised to help Mom with. I overheard a conversation between two employees talking about someone named Philip maxing out credit cards on expensive vacations while his family struggled. I felt a quiet fury bubbling inside. Dad showed up at my apartment a few days later. His usual calm was gone, replaced by frustration. He looked me in the eyes and said, "This isn't how family problems are solved, Mark. You're overstepping." I didn't flinch. Family problems don't get solved by hiding the truth or pretending everything's fine. You've let Philip lie and cheat for years. He scoffed. Philip works hard. He supports this family. Supports. I repeated, my voice cold. By stealing from the family. By hiding debts. Meanwhile, Philip started calling non-stop. Voicemails filled with threats and insults. You think you can ruin me? I'm the one who holds this family together. But the truth was breaking through the cracks. The family's facade was crumbling. Emma called me one night, voice shaky, tears almost audible. "Mark, why are you doing this? We're supposed to be a family. Can't we just talk?" I wanted to shout, because family isn't supposed to treat me like a burden. Instead, I softened. Because someone has to be honest. Someone has to make this stop. She was silent for a moment, then whispered, "I don't know if I can pick sides." And neither did I. But this war was already on. The house felt different when I walked in that evening. Heavy, tense, like the air itself was waiting for something to break. Everyone was there. Dad, Mom, Philip, Emma. The silence was suffocating. I cleared my throat. "We need to talk. All of us." Philip scoffed, arms crossed. "What now, Mark? More accusations." I looked at each of them, steady and unflinching. Philip's been hiding debts. He's been using family money for gambling, and worse. I pulled out the photos Emma gave me. "This isn't just gambling. This is illegal." Mom gasped, covering her mouth. Dad's face went red with anger and shame. Philip's smirk disappeared, replaced by something colder. "You think you can ruin me? You have no idea who you're messing with." I didn't back down. I know exactly who I'm messing with. A liar, a thief, someone who's been living. I shook my head. "Fix it." "Huh?" "By covering it up again." Suddenly, Philip pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the lawyer. You'll regret this." But I was ready. "Go ahead. Because I've already contacted legal help. The accounts are frozen. Philip, you'll answer for what you've done." The room exploded into shouting. Mom cried quietly. Emma looked torn. Dad stood still, defeated. Later that night, I sat alone, feeling the weight of what I'd started. I knew this fight would change everything. Maybe it would break us, or maybe it was the only way to finally heal. The house felt emptier than ever when I walked through the door the next morning. The quiet wasn't peaceful, it was heavy with things left unsaid. After the storm of the confrontation, everything had shifted, irreversibly. Dad didn't meet my eyes. Mom avoided me altogether. Emma looked tired, like the weight of the family's secrets had aged her overnight. And Philip was gone, facing creditors, lawyers, and maybe even jail. I'd made sure of that. I sat down, feeling the sting of betrayal all over again. For years, I had carried the weight of this family, the unpaid bills I quietly covered, the repairs I made, the lies I let slide. And all they ever gave me was contempt. "You've always been a burden." Those words echoed in my mind. But they weren't true. I wasn't the burden. I was the one who held the pieces together while they fell apart. And now, the tables had turned. It wasn't about money anymore. It was about respect. About standing up for myself when no one else would. About proving that I mattered. I thought about calling Emma, trying to repair the fragile bridge between us. But I also knew some things couldn't be fixed overnight. Maybe not ever. Family was complicated, messy, and sometimes painfully disappointing. But for the first time in a long time, I felt something new, strength. A quiet power that didn't come from money or approval, but from knowing I had fought back. that I hadn't let myself be broken. The sun was setting outside, casting warm light through the window. Maybe one day we'd find a way to heal. Maybe not. But for now I was free. Free from the burden they said I was. Free to build my own life, on my own terms. And that was the real victory.